Hello, my name is María Alejandra Trujillo, and today I'm going to present my problematic that is insecurity in Barranquilla. For this, I choose 3 arguments, and I also choose a compare and contrast problem. The argument 2 is linked to the compare and contrast problem, and the argument 3 is linked to the conclusion. So, as my first argument, to start, I want to say my topic. My topic is the insecurity in Barranquilla and how this affects the people living here. So as my first argument, I'm going to read it and then I'm going to explain it in my own words. I put an immeasurable number of people have been robbed or killed in the past years. Unfortunately, the vast majority of families in Barranquilla have suffered because of these situations. So what I wanted to put in this argument 1, it was explaining the fact that in Barranquilla, the most people that have suffered from killing or rob or stealers are the vast majority of families. At least most of the families that live here, at least one of their members have suffered from it. Unfortunately, it is very sad that we live in a place that it is very unsafe to walk or even go out because we can be killed or steal. Me personally, I have suffered from stealers, and in the worst cases, it's horrible because they only not affect my safetyness, but they also affect my mental health. Because when I was steal, or when stealers came and robbed steal my things, at least I could not sleep for like 3 days, or I had nightmares with people getting myself steal. And I also, for my argument 1, I choose a article to support myself that it talked about the most dangerous city in Colombia, and in top 5 there was Barranquilla. This is the link that I put in the bibliography. Is the info bar, and it's an article that talks about it. For the argument 2, I choose I'm going to read it. There are around 71 more deaths in Barranquilla than in Iceland, even though Iceland is a country and Barranquilla is just a city. It is very sad to imagine the place we live is like this. It's awful that kids have to grow in a city where the insecurity overflows more than the security. And for my argument 2, as I told you, I choose the compare and contrast problem. And I put in the compare and contrast problem, the impact this brings when compared to Barranquilla is very significant because not only the police officers always carries a gun, but there's also at least 70 homicides per month, according to Caracol Radio. This past month, there were at least 72 homicides. There are around 71 more deaths in Barranquilla than in Iceland. So what I wanted to compare in this argument was that Iceland, being the safest country in the whole world, it's at least much safer than Barranquilla. Why? Because, for example, I put an example in the compare and contrast problem, but officers in Iceland do not need to carry a gun because it is so safe. At least there's one murder per month. In Barranquilla, there are at least 70 or 50 more stealers or cases from stealers than in Iceland. Here in Barranquilla, officers needs to carry always a gun because it is insecure and it can happen these cases in any time. So for this compare and contrast problem and argument 2, I choose an article that it is also in the bibliography, that it talks about Iceland being the safest country, and it also provides the information about officers without the need of carrying a gun. And for my last argument 3, and this one leads to the conclusion, I put the fact that insecurity brings instability to Barranquilleros needs to change. We cannot let the next generations live with fear of going out. We cannot let parents to feel afraid to let their kids go outside because of this anxiety of them being steal or even in worst cases killed. So for my argument 3 and my conclusion, I decided to put this. And it was also a conclusion for myself because it came to my mind that this problematic needs to be fixed for all of us. We cannot let that parents steal or always feel the need to not let their kids go out, because kids needs to grow in a space where they can go outside, feel free and play with their friends without them being killed in the worst cases or being steal. So I feel this problematic needs to be changed. This problematic has happened from so many years, and I hope it does not continue for a long time. But we as Barranquilleros need to choose the people wisely so that we do not suffer from these things on and on and on.